Hi there. I wanted to do a quick video on a movement that I've done for several years, that we've programmed for several years and seen a lot of reps and sets done with it, different tempos and everything. But it's called a dumbbell three-point row, and it's a horizontal pulling movement. Primary movers are your upper body pulling muscles of your back and your arms, but really using the whole body. So you're stabilizing a lot with your backside and your legs. So three-point dumbbell three-point row is 1, 2, and then 3. That's where our 3 points are. 3 points because we're holding the dumbbell, we're doing a row. But I see a lot of things done wrong on this, so I'm going to just cover some of them. By no means am I going to cover everything, so if you have some others, you can throw those in the comments or whatever. But things that I see incorrectly. First off, when I get into this hinging position, it is a hinging position, not a squatting position. When I get into this hinging position, I want to maintain a neutral spine. So what that means is not just my lumbar and my thoracic spine, but even my cervical spine, the neck. I want to keep it in a neutral spine position. So what I see incorrectly would be somebody, let's say we're leaning on a bench. Could be a box, it could be even the dumbbells, the rack of dumbbells. But let's say I've got the bench here. Somebody gets too close, and then they kind of get to this squishy position where you can tell that that's not a neutral spine position. And so what I say is get about one arm from whatever you're leaning on and hinge into that position, maintaining a neutral spine position. Okay, now you can see I've got a neutral spine, and it's a long spine. You want to get this long, not compressed spine. Another thing I see done incorrectly is rowing with these locked out knees, these locked out legs. You want to get about, get in an athletic position, okay? About a 20 to 30 degree bend, and instead of stabilizing with your lower back and really feeling that uncomfortableness, you want to stabilize with your backside, like I was saying, okay? Another thing, let's talk about that arm position, okay? Well, let's take it even a step back. So why am I doing this? I'm trying to strengthen up the muscles that control the shoulder blade back and down. When I'm doing a rowing movement, ring rows, which is with a gymnastic element, with the dumbbell, same thing. I'm going to move my shoulder blades as much as I can along my rib cage. So I want this arm to be locked out, which is going to allow the weight of the dumbbell to protract my shoulder blade. So you can imagine I'm here versus hanging with a little bit of retraction there. So lock that out, get in a good athletic position, let the dumbbell pull your shoulder blade forward along the rib cage. I kind of always mention it kind of like a tree hugger type position, okay? And get some good healthy movement there in the shoulder blade, okay? As you pull, think about depressing this shoulder blade and holding that shoulder blade towards your spine. I actually will coach people often. I'll say, put your shoulder blade in your back pockets, because that's going to tell me I've got to get a lot of movement back and down. So doing the row like this versus this. So let's talk about the pull, some bad things that I see. I see people use this upper trap. There's no depression of that shoulder, okay? So don't use your upper traps. Try to make these muscles squishy as you do the movement. So depress, try to think about bringing your thumb closer to your hips or even your belly button versus your clavicle chest area, okay? So my target is pulling those shoulder blades towards my back, that shoulder blade towards my back pocket, and finishing here versus here. This is bad and unhealthy. Another thing, let's talk about shoulder. Moving that shoulder down and back. So not having a muted shoulder. A muted shoulder is when the shoulder's not moving. As I'm rowing, it's just staying in the same spot. In fact, it might be even tilting forward, which that anterior is not going to be good for your rotator cuff, especially when you're picking up a lot of weight doing some reps. Okay? So let's get that shoulder to move down and back. Okay? A lot of times I'll program tempo. Tempo is going to have 4 different parts. The eccentric part, the eccentric element, which would be going down with that dumbbell. The isometric bottom, so now how long am I holding the dumbbell at the bottom? The third one is the concentric contraction, so going up with the movement. And then the last one is how long I hold isometrically at the top. So today's, in my workout, I was doing 2-1-X2. So again, think back, 2-1-X2. 2 seconds going down, 1 second in the isometric bottom, explode to the top, and then hold a 2-second pause at that isometric top position. So 2-1-X2 in your training would look like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's that 1 second pause, explode to the top, 2 at the top, 1, 2 going down. And notice how the shoulder blade is moving. My shoulder, everything is moving. Down and back, squeezing and contracting, and then controlling that shoulder blade into protraction along the rib cage. Just a 1 second pause there, okay? So hopefully some of those things relate to how you move or how you see other people move and can help you perform your sets better and be more effective with your back and your pulling muscles. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Come up to the gym if you would like to train with us. Thanks.